I started Deranged Manor clothing line about 2 years ago, I want to say. But I've kind of put that on hold because I'm doing a lot more graphic design and a lot more marketing right now. Hopefully we'll pick that up in like, I don't know, another 3 months or so. But yeah, I started a clothing line and I just wanted to like kind of, I guess, be more high fashion, but like streetwear at the same time. So
dope.
Yeah.
So basically you created a company and then just named yourself CEO.
Well, I created it, so that would make me CEO.
So that's how, hey, you know what? I'm about to be a CEO.
Tian is Tehran's the CEO of our relationship.
Did you just call me Tihan?
I did call you Tihan.
No.
I was like Tahan.
You know why you did that? You did that because people have been calling you weird ass
Yeah,
names.
so I've been called Greg and Crick.
Have you been called Drake?
I have been called Drake too. Very recently, I was just on set and they called me Drake instead of my name.
You definitely look like Drake.
Just a little bit.
It's interesting. Like people say it like, would you think he doesn't know that he looks like Drake? Is that what it is?
No, I would think you know, but I was just curious.
What
Just
about him
curiosity.
looks like Drake?
It's the eyebrows. It's the hairline and the eyebrows
And the
for sure. You got the caterpillars and then you got the
The caterpillars.
They're
that's like,
good. They're good.
They're good caterpillars.
They're good caterpillars.
Yeah.
They're the ones that turn into butterflies.
They do turn into butterflies.
Not moth.
Not a moth. No, gotta be.
Yo, I don't know. Either way, they're caterpillars. Like no one likes caterpillars, bro. Everyone loves
so many.
butterflies.
Look,
Absolutely love caterpillars.
I've honestly gotten so many my number one compliment on my looks, and it just irritates Tehran every time. Whenever someone compliments my eyebrows, he just stands there and he like stomps the ground. He looks around, and he gets antsy.
Nah, I
and he
don't
has
get
to, like,
antsy.
because he just doesn't get the compliment,
No,
and
it's
now
the worst.
he's trying to attack me for something that's actually.
It's the worst. It's the worst compliment to give. Okay, and I'm
The
gonna tell you why.
eyebrows?
Because, and I'll explain. When people want to convince themselves of something, they go like this. No, you look fine. No, you look great. No, it looks great. Like if you have a messed up haircut, people go, "Oh, your hair, it looks so nice." And I see that strain when they're giving him that compliment.
Interjection.
But I believe you actually like his eyebrows.
Interjection.
I think they're nice. They're groomed.
Do you like his bathrobe?
I can't say I don't and do like it.
Okay, so isn't that worse than if you're like great bathrobe? That means you just simply don't like the bathrobe. He can't take the fact that I get real compliments. You see?
So
He's having trouble digesting
Here's the
it.
difference. I can just take off the bathrobe, George. You know what I'm saying?
he can just pluck his eyebrows.
Touche.
I can just take the bathrobe
I'll
off.
give a point for Tehran. I'll give a point for Tehran.
It's kind of, okay, so
Tehran.
last night, I'll give you a perfect example. Last night, we were at, we were like at Mel's Diner, and a really good friend of mine was sitting there, and she's overweight. Okay, she's overweight, not in a bad way, but she's overweight for her body frame. She needs to lose like 20 pounds. She asked George, "Do you think I'm fat?" And George said, "No, you look great." And she doesn't.
Have you
See-
seen my exes?
See, that's what I can't do is like, because when you, I guess it depends. So like if I know I'm fat and then I ask my friend and I'm like, "Yo, am I getting fat?" And they say, "No, you look great." I'd be like, "You're not my friend.
You're not a good friend.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're not my friend."
What if your best friend says to you, "I would rather look like your stomach than such and such's face"? Isn't that a little cruel?
No, because it's tough love. It's like, okay, you care about me.
Thank you.
And you want me to look my best.
So
Right?
what if when you do look good, that same friend said, "Oh, you're looking too muscular. Stop going to the
Then
gym."
they're
You're
just
looking too
hating.
Yeah, oh, exactly.
No. I never said too muscular.
Exactly. Yeah,
Muscular and too fit is two different
exactly.
things. Like if you look fit, that's different.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen someone they look too like too big?
Yeah,
So
they
how's
can't
that
even
hating?
turn around and they're
Exactly.
wiping
I
their
could
own butt.
fully turn around.
No, you looked
just hate.
you looked big. No, see, you just want people to agree with. Yo, what if someone comes up to you and says your bathrobe looks like shit and it's your birthday, and then they smush your face into cake and they kick you and spit on you? Is that bad? Or are they haters? Like that just never happened.
No, I think like if
you just want someone on
the
your side.
person is trying to lose weight and you still tell them they look great,
Exactly.
then
Or
you're not a friend.
If you care about them, and it's not saying that big people can't look good. Big people look good all the time. Ashley Graham is amazing. However, it fits her frame. It needs to fit your frame. There are people that you can tell it's either doesn't look good or, more importantly, it's unhealthy.
Yeah.
There is an unhealthy conversation that we need to have a talk about. We can't just pretend everything's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's not. You can't just live whatever lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that doesn't affect you or others.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes feel, Teron, as like an extremely skinny man, an intimidation factor? If you feel that the girl's just a little bigger, it might be able to beat you up.
I'm not extremely skinny. I'm skinny. I'm definitely skinny, but I'm not extremely skinny. There's like way skinnier than me. So it's not a factor. I do take into account when a girl's bigger than me that I wouldn't feel as comfortable.
You get a little
with them.
intimidated?
I don't get intimidated. I just feel like
Like an inferiority
but then a part of me, like, honestly likes a big girl because big girls don't
so
say
you're a
ouch.
chubby chaser.
No, it's not.
You like your
know what I
women
like?
BBW.
You know what I like? I like girls that take dick. And here's the thing about like big girls.
Wait, you're telling me that skinny girls can't take dick?
A lot of skinny girls can't take dick.
Can't.
They cannot.
Is this like we talk about facts? Is this a biological fact?
It's just there's more. You've
a
heard the
survey.
term. There's more
Pushing,
cushion
or
for the
cushion
push.
for the pushing.
Okay.
So I like a girl. I personally like a girl who's a little thick. Like if you have a little thickness to you, you know what I'm saying? Especially in certain areas, we can have a better conversation.
What I always wondered with a lot of men who prefer larger women, sometimes they kind of do it on the low. They're embarrassed to be seen. Have you ever been in a situation where you've been attracted to a partner and you just didn't really want to be seen with them in public, but you're really
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
attracted?
Really?
Absolutely.
How did it go?
It's interesting.
This guy wasn't necessarily like skinny or fat. He was just
Ugly.
ugly.
He was ugly.
Wow. But you were attracted to the beast.
I was attracted to his inner self.
This nigga had good dick. Look,
No, hold on. No, he had good
self.
dick. He had good dick, but he was extremely ugly. I mean, he was from a 1 to 10, solid 3.
Whoa.
Solid 3.
But you were really attracted to him.
I don't know about really, but there was an attraction there, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I think it was just his attitude and his confidence. Like, he walked into a room, he thought he was like fucking, I don't know,
A 12. He was walking
David
in like
Beckham, but he was like a solid 2. You're just
he
like,
was
how does this happen?
Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
I get it.
And
I
that's
know
what,
someone like that.
you know what I'm saying? It's like they have this aura about
Who?
them. Who?
Who, George?
Tehran?
Not Tehran. Ton.
No, who's like that?
Ton. This guy Ton.
Oh, are you talking about me? Oh.
You try to change it up, but yeah, I think confidence is really attractive. People say that, but honestly, you don't know until you experience it. Like, you start having feelings for an ugly person, you're like, why am I even attracted to them? And
That's
you're like,
true.
oh, it's their attitude.
So why did you not want to be seen? Do you feel like he would be a misrepresentation of you?
Yeah. I mean, if I want to be honest, yeah, because it sucks because I don't want to portray Persian girls, but we have like a set standard, and I don't know, we kind of hold ourselves highly, and for us to be seen with a guy that's not like a solid 7 or 8 is just, I feel like it brings,
It devalues you.
Yeah, and
that's
it's
actually interesting. You bring up that point, and on George's point, because I'm a 3 who walks in like a 12. I will no longer have him as my +1 to anything I go to.
I'm just bitter
and let
because he went to this
he's-
like Pretty Little Thing
very
party.
Look,
without
I'm
me.
gonna let him try to get in on his own. And here's the thing about that, because I don't want to devalue you, George, and your eyebrows. Okay, you or your eyebrows.
I think your eyebrows
We
look
play a game here called Either Or, and in Either Or, basically, you choose either or.
okay.
Please.
This is a question I once asked a Persian.
No. I want to make
I
sure
want
she
to ask the
understands that she has to pick.
Okay.
I have to pick? Oh my God, death is not
there's
an
no,
option?
Yeah, there's no gray area. It's either or. You are strongly encouraged and not forced to make one decision between
Okay.
the two. Okay.
Got it.
And I'm going to start. Okay.
Consensually. You consensually choose.
I
choose.
consent.
This is a question I once asked a Persian girl.
Okay.
And you're going to be the second Persian girl I asked this question to.
Oh God, I'm nervous now.
Yeah, you're the first CEO, but the second one to get this question. Would you rather A, be born as an Afghan, or B, marry an Indian man.
Can you repeat the question? Can you repeat this question?
Let me ask the question. And this is a very culturally biased question, okay? Would you rather A, be Afghan, or B, marry an Indian man?
Oh my God, you guys are killing me.
And I want to explain. We're going to explain why.
And death is not an option.
We want. I want to explain. I want to explain to someone why this is culturally, because in a situation where race doesn't play as big a part, culture does, and culturally Persians who are confident and arrogant and think they're the best look down on every other culture around their country, regardless of what it is. So the question is, would you, as a Persian,
I love that Tehran's asking.
Would you rather be born an Afghan or married to an Indian man?
God, you guys.
You have to choose one.
I would, for no reason, change my race. So I would have to go with being married to an Indian.
Yeah, but it's also married with kids, just so you understand.
Great.
Okay.
But, just the whole Afghan thing. I mean, I like being Persian, so I'm going to have to be married.
This is why Afghans
is divorce
hate
an
Persians,
option
by the way.
later?
No.
Damn
You're
it.
married. So
You're married
So
forever.
now we're going to interpret your answers. George, would you like to take this one?
Go easy.
Would you like to create the best controversy of all time?
I have a simple analysis on this one. When you meet someone and you're not too sure where they're from, the first question you say is, "Are you Persian?" And if they say yes, you continue the conversation. And if they say no, you said, "Oh, well, me, I'm Persian," and then you walk away. Ding, 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 ding.
And you don't like Latino men either.
I do not prefer.
Do you think it's racist, or do you think it's preference?
It's preference, because if it was racist, I think I wouldn't even have Latino friends or Latina friends. I have a lot of them. I mean, I live in Van Nuys, and that's mostly Latina population. But as far as me dating, I feel like the culture is so different. So I don't know. And most of them, I think, do stick to more Latinas. They kind of stick to their own kind as well. So I think maybe that's why. I don't know. It's a weird answer.
So my interpretation
Tehran,
is
hit
this.
us up with this. Is going to be a good one.
My interpretation is that you like to progress, but you don't like to change. You're very comfortable with who you are as a person. You are very centered. You have a balance that you have taken a long time to find. And now that you found it, you don't want to change it for anyone. You would rather find someone that compliments you or makes you better than anyone who actually tries to change you. You will resist that change. You dislike it. And more importantly, you feel like it's a form of disrespect to who you are as a person. You enjoy being you. And even though you do realize that you can do better, you want to realize it on your own.
Yeah.
In that way, you're very independent. You like a man who can bolster you and inspire you without telling you what to do.
Yes.
You like to be the boss of your own destiny. And you also have an affinity towards your family and a very closeness, as in it's something that weighs on your mind and it's something you think of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true.
I also interpreted at the last part that you were telling us that you love good dick. And I just want to throw that out there because of the way she said black eye. And she's like, oh, culturally we're different. No.
Oh, okay. You think it's all about dick, though?
No. But that's
He's just
not
adding
all
that.
about
Because,
dick.
okay, so
It helps.
it does, but
Helps.
a lot.
A lot. I'm telling you, good dick can solve so many problems. I honestly firmly believe that. And do you feel that's true?
I mean, it's good. It's a big part of it. Let's just say. I mean, you can have an average size dick.
It's not. It's
but
about
if you work
making it work. Exactly.
yeah, making it work. That's good. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not strictly into black guys because of their dick. Is because I don't know. They're more. I guess, aggressive or like more. I don't know how do you say it.
In a way, but aggressive
more
in a good way.
masculine.
It's
Yeah,
masculine.
in a good way.
You like
yeah,
alphas.
yeah. So it's like I like being, I don't know, controlled
It's
to
not
some
controlled,
extent, but
it's
not
respectfully.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
there's a difference, and I always express this. It's like you love doing you, but you get put in check when you're supposed to,
Yeah.
the way you're supposed to.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a dichotomy, and there's a respectful way. It's almost like there's a respectful way to be disrespectful. There's a respectful way
Yeah.
to do it. And it's not in a disrespectful manner. It comes from a good place, and it's cute, and in a lot of ways
Yeah.
it's teasing and things like that. So
Yeah, that's definitely. Why are you so quiet?
I'm absorbing up until the black dick part. I must.
You just stopped.
you don't want to absorb that black
Yeah, I don't want to absorb the black dick.
Really?
But I must say that up to that point,
Peter Frank will be very disappointed.
the reason why I was so silent and taken aback. Usually, I disagree with all of Tehran's analysis,
Even though
on the
they're
show.
always exactly 100%
This
correct.
one was so brilliant and so spot on, and I feel you felt that too.
Yeah,
resonated
it definitely
with you.
was. Yeah.
And I was taken aback. And I just want to compliment my co-host Tehran
Oh,
on
thank
such a
you.
great analysis.
You're still not my +1, bro. It's done. You're already done. You're still
we'll
done.
we'll work
You're
that
done.
out.
Oh, you're trying to
You're
get on
done.
his good graces.
Because like I
go
need
to the
get in
coolest
clubs.
things. I go to the
need
coolest
to
things.
get in clubs, and
To the
he's
coolest
plug.
events, and I always bring
He
the
brings
crew.
me.
I bring the crew, but no more.
No,
No
I
more.
need
Oh
that
man,
connect.
you lost it.
He lost it.
You
Which I
lost the
don't
clubbing
mind
pass.
because like I've been going broke because I've been going out with Tehran.
Yo, that's so
No,
real.
look, let me tell you.
It's not even like we pay for any.
No.
He doesn't pay for it. George finds a way to
spend money.
pay
So
for
so
things.
for example, yesterday I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should have a drink. I go to the bar, buy a drink.
Mm-hmm.
The drink for some reason costs a car payment. I don't know why.
Dude.
And then Tehran's like, hey George, why don't you come over here? I was like, where? He's like, oh, this $2,000 table I just landed with a huge bottle this big. And I'm like, how do you do this?
for free.
How?
And I'm
For
like,
free.
why? I don't even drink. I don't drink
He
alcohol
doesn't
at
drink.
all.
He was drinking the Sprite.
Wow, really?
So,
I
that's
drink
or
like a
orange
sailor,
juice.
actually.
You do?
I drink
Good
a lot.
for you.
Thanks.
Okay,
You
so
got a
I'll ask
question,
you an
Tehran?
either or
You got a
question.
question?
Yes, I'll ask you a question. Okay. Tall man. Bad personality. Not mean, but bad personality. Okay. Short man. Shorter than you.
Oh God.
Good personality. Now, your interpretation means everything. So I won't tell you how bad and I won't tell you how good. But just remember, I also haven't said anything about what either one looks like. Just one's shorter than you, literally shorter than you,
Like really short.
shorter than you, and one's taller than you.
Okay.
And by, I want to say the word much, meaning one is much shorter than you and one is much taller than you.
And you didn't really explain how bad the attitude was. I'm like trying to figure out if I can compromise the bad attitude and
Either or.
Thank you,
Pick
George.
one.
Stop putting me on the spot. I would probably have to go with short man, good attitude.
Interesting pick.
Yeah.
George?
I don't think I could do bad attitude.
I am a bit thrown off by your answer.
You thought I was gonna say tall man.
Yes, but assumptions are nothing. Okay. And you just gave me this new reality. And with this new reality of what you shared,
I'm a curveball. What can I say?
I'm seeing something. I'm seeing that you as an individual, you have success, sure. You have strength, you have courage, you have power in society. But above all, you have principles. And you, along your journey, have never done something to appease someone else if it's only for that purpose. You do things that you feel intuitively are right and are best for you and are best for the people around you. And because you've never made this compromise, you're willing to do the ultimate sacrifice and not make this compromise with someone who you may not even be as attracted to. Because the number one quality for you is what's on the inside
Yeah.
and what's not on the outside. Also, when you purchase a car, you definitely factor the interior.
Yeah.
You sit inside the car, you see how it feels,
You
you
gotta
see
be
the
all
material,
all leather, all
All leather.
leather.
because that matters to you. The things that people may not just see and be wowed by aren't as impressive to you. It's the intrinsic value of things that really moves you and motivates you. And that is why you'd be willing to take the shorter man with the better personality and the really good black
I'm going to give you a round of applause on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do you think?
You're a whore. And here's the thing about that, right? So the concept is
What?
no, you just love saying all the good things in the world. No, clearly you dated the ugly guy with the good personality. So I wanted to see how you would take a short guy. And while it matters what other people think of you, ultimately what you think of you matters the most, and your happiness matters the most to you. Clearly you see the inner beauty and
Isn't
you
that
realize
everything I
that
said,
outer
Turan?
beauty. No.
Isn't this everything?
Except
Playback, everyone.
in under
Playback.
30 seconds and not for 14 minutes. So let me just finish. Thanks.
Mine was more poetic.
Yeah, sure. So you see the inner beauty in people? Sure.
Copyright infringement.
Also, the concept is you like to feel safe and secure in relationships, which is why you struggled for a second. And that mental stability matters more to you than a physical one, but you really want the physical one too.
Right.
You like a guy who holds you and makes you feel safe, secure, comforted. You like being the little spoon. You like these manners, which probably translates also sexually, where you would not mind being choked, for example. You like having your ass smacked, things of that nature. And hence the beginning. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong
Yeah, I'm not
at
wrong.
all.
And so the concept is, so from the beginning to the end, it comes full circle. Thank you so much for being. We love our.
I just had one more, either or.
We love. No, we don't have time.
It's a quick one. Okay.
Whoopi Goldberg.
So it's your wedding. It's your wedding, and you have to serve your guests Indian food.
Oh my God! What's up with you and Indians,
we're
man?
You
done.
have to eat Afghan food for the rest of your life.
We're done. We're done. Okay. So listen, and the reason is because in that part of the world, I want people to understand the cultures. Everyone feels that way about the other cultures. So Indians feel that way. Afghans feel that way. Everyone feels that they're better in that way culturally.
Yeah.
In what way
And
do
it's
you
not,
feel?
It's not. I feel like I'm the best. Period. In general, like I
you
think
really
being
feel
black
like
and
that?
Persian is the best mix you can possibly have on the planet. So
I can't really argue with that. That's a good,
and
good
it's
mix.
not bad to think of yourself as the best. It's only bad if you consider yourself the best because you think others must be the worst. And that's when there's a conflict. They are not mutually exclusive. You can love yourself, and people don't understand that, especially when it comes to me.
Yeah.
I love me, but that doesn't mean that I don't love you or you shouldn't love you.
Yeah.
You can love you too.
Yeah.
You should. I encourage it. And that's a concept for confidence. Each week, however, we also want to get to know your type. And in type, we decide it based on something that kind of pertains to you, a crush, someone you would have a crush on. This week, our crush is going to be
Your designer crush. What clothing designer, if you had a crush on a clothing designer, who would it be?
Balmain, for sure.
wow.
I don't
was
know what
very
Belmont looks like.
Balmain is the jeans that everyone pays thousands of
No,
dollars
like
for.
Belmont themselves.
Oh, it's not about the person. It's about the
the
style.
Yeah,
it's about the.
that's what you guys were
Balmain.
saying,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
because the
yeah.
guy.
No one knows what any of these
Yeah, I was
designers
just
look like.
curious.
Really.
I actually do. He's very chiseled.
Yeah, no one knows what any
Belmont.
designers like. When you say Tommy Hilfiger, you just picture a white guy. We don't really.
So what about Belmont?
I don't know. His styles are just. I'm into futuristic stuff, and his is so. I don't know, simple, but yet like in your face, and I don't know. It's just I love his designs.
So even though it's simple, you can tell that it's
Yeah.
very modern.
Yeah, and I love modern design. So for him, like his designs definitely stick out to me for sure.
Well, Balmain's a perfect concept because we also have a poppin' or stoppin'. That's something that either is poppin', we should keep doing it, or stoppin', which men do. And this week our poppin' or stoppin' is tight jeans, skinny
or
jeans.
skinny jeans.
So like, and
Poppin'.
Balmain makes the skinniest of skinny jeans. So
So on men specifically. So this is a trend that we see men have been doing for some time now. Do you think it's hot and a good thing to keep doing, or should men stop doing that and like revert back a little to more of like a relaxed fit?
I think that we as a society should relax on what men and women wear. I don't think that, for me personally, I wouldn't really go for the guy who's like skin tight jeans. But as like a society, I think we should just stop thinking guys wear baggy jeans, girls wear,
Yeah, but can we stop thinking guys have penises and girls don't? Here's the thing for the people who wear skinny jeans. Skinny jeans are not comfortable.
Yes,
they feel like how are your nuts in there? Like how does it feel?
I'm kind of struggling with that right now, to be honest. Personally, I feel that my sack is being.
Are you wearing skinny jeans right now?
They're like skinnier, I'd say.
They're fitted, not skinny.
They're fitted.
Yeah, because I tried the skinny one in the mall, and as I was putting on the
rolling them on like leggings.
Actually, as I was rolling them off, it took me like.
You had to hold your breath. You had to lay on the bed.
Teron was actually with me while I was trying on.
I wasn't helping him. Let's not.
So he was waiting outside the fitting room, and he's like, "Sure, George, I'll be waiting for you. Don't worry, I'll be."
Do you need help in there?
That's not what I've never said those words in my life.
So then I get a text from Teron. What's taking you so long?
I was trying to leave, and I was like, "Yo, where you at?"
And
like
then
you die?
I was like, I literally, like you said, I was rolling them on like leggings. And then I looked at them for 1 second. I said, these got to come off. And in my head, maybe I would have tried on a different pair or something. But as I was taking them off, they were so tight that my tube sock rolled off with the jeans. And I was like, never again. This is just not going to happen.
These are the same jeans you have on right now.
No, these are like the slim
fit.
Yeah.
They don't even sell like regular jeans anymore.
No.
And I've learned that I can do slim fit. I cannot do skinny fit. I don't like
really
it. I don't like how it makes me feel.
And they haven't done any research if this is detrimental to men's testicles or
They
not.
have actually. They did the same research on the detox that they did with the men's jeans.
Oh my God!
They found out that it actually hurts your nuts. Like why do guys have camel toes? Can we talk about that? Are we gonna discuss that? What do you think? Popping or stopping? And you just said, do what you want to do.
Yeah, I think do what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that means stopping. All right. So every week we also have a question from the listener. Do you have the question?
I do
George?
have a question.
If you could bring up the question. So every week we bring a question from the listener and we ask, of course, our guests to weigh in. And this week's question is from Joe Schmo 54.
Joe Schmo 54.
Hey.
Yeah,
Also,
Joe Schmo 54.
54. Joe Schmo 54 asks. I just like saying Joe Schmo 54's name. I'm a nice guy. Oh my gosh.
This is perfect.
This is so perfect. I like just had to
God.
freeze. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm a nice guy with what I would call a good personality, but I'm not that good looking. I'm not bad looking, just not super good looking either. What can I do to be more attractive to women? Please share your
You're like
thoughts.
the perfect person to ask.
I just think that he needs to have more confidence in himself. So him saying I'm not that good looking is already lack of confidence.
Not really, because you know when you're not that good. Listen, I know I'm not bad looking, but I'm no Chris Hemsworth. Like that nigga's hot. Like we have to establish that because people are like, no, everyone's good looking. No, they're not. I've seen some ugly people in my life. I've seen some ugly babies. I've seen some ugly puppies. I've seen some ugly human beings. I have seen some ugly girls. I mean, I've seen
you've
because
seen it
people
all.
love saying, no, they know that. No, your baby's ugly and your puppy's ugly bitch and you're an ugly bitch and your husband's
my
ugly.
God.
He's so
It's
angry
just like
today.
they're ugly.
Animosity.
Everyone's
on?
like you're ugly and I don't like anything about you.
Who hurt you? So aside from the confidence, let's say you're not that attractive, but you're very well put together. You pick amazing outfits. Would that then give him a chance of attracting women more?
I think so, yeah. I think it's how he carries himself and, like I said, making sure that he looks his best most of the time. I know we all have our
What
days.
if you're really good looking and just wear a bathrobe all the time? All right, let's go into.
But you balance it out, right?
I don't even balance.
balance
This
it
is
out.
swaggy, bro. Sharing is caring, a segment we've added because we want to know the best or worst thing a man has ever done to
This
you.
is really deep. Hashtag sharing is caring if you're listening right now, and share your stories with us listeners.
The worst thing that a guy...
Or best thing, but
Best thing.
we prefer worst.
Wow.
I want to hear the juicy
I
gossip
want to
shit.
hear the good stuff.
I want to hear the worst
romantic
thing a
stuff.
guy's ever done.
Worst thing that a guy has ever done to me.
Oops, wrong hole. What's the worst?
Oh my gosh.
I'm just-
Worst thing a guy has done was date me and then go around and behind my back talk to my cousin at the same time. My actual cousin.
Sheesh.
That was probably the
How
worst.
did y'all find
Whoa.
out? You know, whenever I hear stories like that, I go, how did you find out so I don't get found out? Like, it's like, have you ever seen someone get pulled over and you want to slow down and be like, hey, man, what you do? So you don't do it too? How did he find out? How did you find out?
It was a long time ago. It was when I was younger. But it was still like one of those things you're like, wow, you're an animal, you know? But she actually told me that he was trying to like, you know, he started talking to her here and there, and she didn't think anything of it, but he was like, hey, I don't really like your cousin. I actually I'm in love with
wrong.
you.
That part I don't like.
Stuff like that.
I don't like your cousin. I actually like you.
Yeah.
Let's say that the guy acted on it. Would you be more mad at the guy or the cousin?
I would be mad at my cousin if she actually went through with it, but I would be mad at the guy regardless, whether she didn't, you know, basically shuns him or not. But it's if my cousin actually accepted the offer, that would be like beyond fucked up.
Has this experience made you more cautious with men?
Oh my God, yes. Because you never know with guys, like especially if you just meet them and then, you know, I have beautiful cousins, like beautiful.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Right?
Don't
Yeah, I
tell us.
got you guys. I got you.
No, because George will try his best not to hook it up. Like, so, no,
yeah.
but what's up?
I mean,
But you would be more mad at your cousin because you feel the cousin has a loyalty to you.
the cousin has to, yeah, of course, the cousin has to have a loyalty. The guy is just whatever. He can be replaced, but like that's your cousin, and
Yeah.
you can't really, you know what I mean?
Cousin
so
has
it's just
a higher
horrible.
duty.
Yeah.
I can understand.
It was
that.
just a really bad place to be put in.
Well,
I guess.
let's talk about our topic for the week. And the topic comes because of, I don't know if you're familiar with Larsa Pippen. Larsa Pippen has been a topic of discussion lately. She is NBA legend Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting a divorce. And it's a tumultuous relationship right now.
Mm-hmm.
Then she had a questionable relationship with the rapper Future. And just last night, she was at the Pretty Little Thing event that I was at. And everyone made a big deal of how she's out and about and dressed to impress, and she's out. The question is, in light of this, how soon is too soon?
How soon is too soon?
Like, George has been in situations where he has dated someone and then they have split, and then he met someone, not on his own occurring, but it just happened to be where he met someone within a day later, and then he didn't take the chance because he was like, hey, I don't know what's going to happen with the ex. I don't want to.
So
Right.
I didn't act on it, but all the exes, day after broke up, went and got married. Not even dated someone else.
Some of them.
I am. It was a good luck
Are you
Chuck
being
of
serious?
marriage.
Good luck, Chuck.
I'm good luck Chuck of marriage.
Wow.
My past 3 relationships, once we broke up, within a 1 to 2 month range, have gotten married.
Okay, so that just tells me that if someone can move on that fast from a relationship, they were never like really into you. You know what I mean? If you could
That
like
hurts to
switch up.
hear.
I know, I'm
I've
sorry.
lived a lie.
But I've had that done to me too, but it's like when you know like you're not really in love with that person, it's easy for you to just move on
Were
to
they
something
just
else.
using me for my cupcakes?
They're using you for your good looks.
Oh, that's a great compliment.
You're
Thank
welcome. You like that?
I feel great now.
You're
you.
you're gonna hate. Tehran is like but yeah.
You see that look he gave?
They're
You
in
see-
love with you for your caterpillar eyebrows. Well, you know
See,
what?
hear the hate? Oh
You'll
my
be able to
gosh.
see them outside of every venue because he's not getting in. So you'll be able to just see them all the time. You know, but
Man.
do you feel like there should be a waiting period from breaking up with person A and moving on to person B?
At least a few months, at least.
Few months.
Mm-hmm.
So like 90 days. You feel
Yeah.
like 3 months.
Like a 90
That
days?
should be like standard.
It's like when an employee takes you on, they got that termination period.
Yeah, it's like a
Remember?
probation
And then-
period.
Probation period, not
Yeah.
termination.
There you go.
No, there is. After you're not allowed to work within a certain amount of time in the same field or something.
Mm.
There's
So
a
there's
non-competition
There's
clause.
2 of them. So he
Sure.
got there's a non-compete, which would probably describe as a little better. There's one where they take you on, and then you have to prove yourself to be permanent.
Sure.
There's
Yeah,
a
that's the probation period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're
But
talking
then
about you're
there's a
breaking up.
So you're breaking up. Perfect. So there's a non-compete clause, and they say some of them, believe it or not, I've seen up to a year, where you can't work
Yeah,
somewhere else.
most of them are a year.
in the industry.
That's
so
insane.
if it's a year for a job, do you think that's too extensive for a relationship, or the 90 days will kind of cut it?
I think 90 days just to give yourself a break from that and just to kind of give yourself some mental clarity, because when you're first like let's say you break up and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna go fuck such and such out of spite. You know what I mean? I think you should give yourself some time for that, because then you'll start thinking more logically, and you're like, hey, I'm glad I didn't fuck such and such just because me and such broke up, you know?
Yeah, well, such and such and such and such. Here, and let's start using names. Let's use your last ex and the person you're with now.
Oh, no, I don't do that.
No. Let's change the name.
Oh.
Let's change the name to his actual name. Okay, so
How
long was it between
Go back and
your
Farhad.
last relationship and your current relationship?
Okay, probably a year. Yeah.
Oh, so
I was single for about a year.
the non-compete.
Were you single and not out there hooking up, or
I
single
was
as in
single
nothing?
and actually working my ass off. So I didn't get a chance to do like any, mingling, no one night stands, like year of just nothing
Letting it happen organically.
is the way.
It's the way to go. And it also means building your foundation. And we keep on forgetting that friendship is a strong foundation to any relationship.
Absolutely.
And what happens is once people break up, they go into this desperation mode where they're trying to regain what they lost. Well, what you lost with that person, because we're all individuals, is technically irreplaceable. You need to be looking for something new, something different, because you're never going to replace exactly what you had. And the way to come to terms with that is through friendship, because you start adjusting to someone's personality, you build a trust, you build a commonality, and over time, that seed that you planted can grow into a beautiful palm tree that stands very tall and proud. But if you don't have friendship at the base of the palm tree, these are our words of the week, by the way, then, the palm tree is never going to grow, and you're just going to collapse. So when people break up with someone, I like what you said about having a waiting period, because you're giving yourself time to reconcile with what you lost and reposition yourself for something new. And what people keep trying to do is, instead of that process, they're trying to
Fill that
simply
void.
fill the void by regaining exactly what they lost.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where, if you move too fast and try and regain, guess what? It's never going to meet that same exact expectation.
Yeah.
And you're going to be disappointed. And let's say now there was a chance for you two to get back together. You just salted that wound. You just salted the wound. If you hooked up with someone else and now you're getting back with someone, that's hard to get past.
Because you're like, oh, why did you move on that fast?
Exactly.
Have you ever had a rebound?
Yes.
And was that because it was too soon?
Yeah. That's why, now I know it's a mistake, because, it happened before, my last relationship where I took a break for a year. And I had a rebound, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? It feels good for the moment, and then afterwards you're like, what am I doing with my life?
It's an emptiness.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not an emptiness anyone can fill. It's just you have to do it for yourself.
And it's hard, because it's so hard to be alone, and I've been there before. When you're alone and trying to cope with
a breakup,
and your depression and your pain, you literally feel like you're going to crumble. So then you try and find someone to move past that pain.
Yeah.
So it's very hard. The advice I'm giving is actually very hard, because it's asking someone to be able to endure all of that and stay alone and then move on. But that's very isolating sometimes.
I feel like a lot of people are not okay with being alone. They're not okay with that. And I feel like that's a deeper issue. If you can't be alone, it's a deeper embedded issue, something that happened in your childhood or something. But honestly, isolation is the best to kind of find yourself in what you want. And
let's talk about something happening in your childhood. Tehran and I were younger, and we went to this new side of DC that I hadn't been to, so I didn't know the way around. Tehran had uncles there, so he kind of knew the area. Went to a basketball court, and there were this other team that was playing, and they were a lot better. They're like, hey, let's go to the other courts. And I was like, hey, Tehran, can I come? Can I come play? Oh, no, this is for the better players. He looked at me and said, this is for the better players. Left me on the reject basketball court. And I'm like, okay, he'll be back in an hour. Keep in mind, I don't know where I am. Okay. 2 hours pass. 3 hours pass. I was so isolated, so alone, so traumatized. He left me behind. He didn't care. And that feeling of being alone, not knowing where I was, what to do, not knowing that help was on the way and a healer, it hurts me till this.
What
day.
does that have to do with too soon, bro?
What it has to do is.
What does
this
that
is
have
what it
to
has
do with is there too soon? Let it
Because
go.
It's
I left. Look, I
alone
left. I went home.
It's me.
I went
not,
home.
Too soon is me not being able to confront that feeling of isolation that he instilled in me. So when these things
Wow.
happen to me, I have this feeling like, oh, I got to talk to someone because I was left alone in the park.
So when you're in a relationship, two things. One, you're saying you have to learn to be alone.
Yeah.
But a lot of people find themselves praying for the perfect person. And what if that's the answer is this person, but it just wasn't at the time you thought you were ready? But this is the person. It is what it is. You meet this person and now you're blocking your blessing because you're still hung up on the ex,
Blocking
hung
your
up on
blessing.
the ex and not for the next.
So you're saying that if you're taking that period and someone just comes and that happens to be the perfect person,
Yeah.
then, like I said, you should make it, I guess, let it happen organically. And I'm not saying block your blessings or, just completely shut everybody off, but take it slow this time and kind of learn from the previous relationship and apply it to this one.
And do you owe an explanation to your ex if you do move on?
I think so. I think for closure, yeah. I think I would want closure if my boyfriend, breaks up with me, and I would actually want that because that kind of leaves you worse off rather than, hey, I can't be with you because of this and this and that, rather than, hey, I just can't be with you. You just need that closure, that explanation. I think it'll make it easier for you to move on.
Well, I appreciate everything that you had to say. It's always very helpful. My last question is, how soon after a breakup should you be public with your next relationship?
I think, well, for me it was a year, so I think that's for me.
That's
That's
what
a
it
good
is.
start. Yeah.
About a year.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being on the show.
Of course. Thank you for having
we
me.
always have the
You were
Imperfect
great.
Gentleman of the Week.
Okay.
Our Imperfect Gentleman of the Week this week are the voters. Everyone who went out to vote, thank you so much for voting, for caring.
Yeah,
Go vote, go vote
You
if
got to
you haven't
get your
voted.
voice heard. We have this privilege, and we need to use it. We need to
For
use
sure.
it.
So vote. We're not, but you should not.
Some people,
I
out there,
haven't.
I have a
Honestly, I
sticker.
haven't
I have a
even
sticker.
voted
some
yet.
people out there are literally dying
Yeah,
to
for
fight
the
for
right.
the right to vote.
Yeah. So
That's true.
Imperfect Gentleman of the Week are definitely the voters. Thank you, Mava,
voters.
for being
Thank
on the
you for
show.
having
Where
me.
can people find you if you want to be found?
Van Nuys, man. Find me in Van Nuys.
Just literally drive around Van Nuys. You don't
Just
have an Instagram.
Drive around Van Nuys, but
a little
I
easier.
work. I work most of the day at A Auto Works. It's a custom body shop that I work at, and I do all their marketing. So yeah,
Whoa.
find me there. We do all kinds of stuff.
That's
over
what's
there.
up.
Awesome.
And then, of course, you can find me at I am Tehran, literally because I am Tehran, IAMTEHRAN, all across the board alongside.
Find me outside the club because Tehran's not letting me in anymore. But if you do want to follow me on social media at Mr. George Corey Tehran, spell the last name.
That's KHOURI, and
Thanks,
we are
Twan.
Imperfect Gentlemen.
Gentlemen.
Remember, nobody's perfect but
But
us.
us.
We'll see you guys next week. Martin on the board.